Welcome to Board Game Casual. In this video, we're taking a look at a fun, lightweight game, Flip 7. I'll give you a brief overview of the game, talk about what I like most, how it compares to some other similar games, and give it a final score. Now, as much as I like big strategy games, I also really enjoy quick, lighter games as well. I have a lot of friends and family who aren't big gamers, and so I like to find these smaller games that I can play with them. I especially like games that hit that sweet spot where they can play with a mix of non-gamers and seasoned gamers, but where everyone is on the same playing field and having fun. And Flip 7 fits perfectly into that category. Flip 7 is a small push-your-luck game that touts itself as Blackjack for gamers. So already you've got a great tagline that non-gamers can wrap their head around, helping to ease them into playing. The game is pretty much just a deck of cards, but it has one card, two cards, three cards, all the way up to having 12 cards. It also contains a single 0 card and a few special cards mixed in, which I'll talk about in a bit. The gameplay is super simple and can be taught in under 2 minutes. Each player is first going to be dealt a single card, and then on your turn, you're simply going to decide if you want to stay with the card you have or hit, i.e. take another card. Your goal is to get the highest sum of cards you can without busting. But unlike Blackjack, where you bust if you go over a total of 21, in Flip 7, you bust on doubles. Meaning, if you have an 8, you don't want to be dealt another 8 or you'll bust and score no points for that round. The round ends once everyone has either stayed or busted out and players keep track of their total. Then it's on to the next round and so on and so forth. The first to 200 points is the winner. That's really all there is to it. So on your turn, you're just deciding if you want to push your luck and go for one more card or stay with what you have and score that. There are some special cards you might be dealt that also add to the fun, like the second chance card that basically protects you from one bust, or cards that you can play on another player, like freezing them to the cards they're currently holding, or forcing them to immediately draw 3 cards. And there's also a bonus rule that awards a player 15 extra points if they can get to a hand of 7 cards without busting. Now, even though this game might not sound like much, it's so much fun. It plays at a really fast pace with a ton of excitement and energy around the table. There's very little downtime, and honestly, it's just as much fun watching what others are going to do on their turn. It's also such low stakes, it doesn't feel that bad when you bust. I couldn't help but laugh with amazement when, on one turn, I busted on 2 3s, and then I busted on 2 2s the very next turn. And since the game is played in multiple rounds, and with a goal of playing to 200 points, everybody's gonna be busting along the way. I gave this game as a gift to my girlfriend's family. They really like playing 5 crowns, so I thought it would be a fun alternative that's about the same weight, but with a little more agency. I even played it with my parents. My dad isn't huge into games, but he'll play the occasional one if I coax him into it. My mom hates competitive games, and even she loved this one, and they both had a blast playing it. My dad actually asked for it the next night. He was like, "Hey, are we gonna play that Flip 7 game again?" In terms of the production quality, well, there's not much to say here. It's a custom deck of cards that seem well made. They're bright and colorful and easy to read. The game box is perhaps a little ridiculous. There's just a lot of wasted space here, and this could easily be a smaller box. But unless shelf space is at a premium, I don't really mind. It's not that big, and it's a really nice box. It gives the game a good presence on the shelf, keeping it in eyesight. Final thoughts on Flip 7. This is one of those rare instances where this game will immediately replace a game I already have on my shelf. 10 is a similar little push-your-luck card game that I like a lot. It's a good game, and I got specifically to be able to play in groups with non-heavy gamers. But after playing Flip 7, I realized I'll never go back to 10. Flip 7 is much easier to teach. Not that 10 is all that difficult, but still. More importantly, it's just a much snappier game with a lot more excitement and a bigger push your luck adrenaline rush. The key difference, in my opinion, is that in 10, you watch a player play out their whole turn. They can continue to hit card after card. Some add to their total, some subtract, until they finally bust or reach a hand they're comfortable with. And then you move on to the next player. Whereas in Flip 7, you just choose to take a card or stay, and then it's on to the next player. You know, stay or hit, next person, stay or hit, next person, stay or hit. So there's this high energy and excitement of just blasting through turns around and around the table. Also, as much as I like 10, I did always think the auction mechanic was kind of clunky. And Flip 7 just feels so much more concise and elegant. It gets you that push your luck adrenaline rush in a quicker, more streamlined way. So even though I think 10 is a great game, I'll definitely be culling 10 from the shelf and reaching for Flip 7 when I want this type of lightweight or filler game. In terms of scoring, I'm giving Flip 7 an enthusiastic 8. It's a great game to have on your shelf for guests or as a filler. It can play up to, I think, 8 players, so it's great for big groups. In fact, if you wanted to play with more, you could easily mix 2 decks together. And it doesn't take a lot of time. This is one of those games where you can play back to back to back if you wanted to. I highly recommend it. If you've played Flip 7, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. And let me know if you think I'm wrong in liking it more than 10. Thanks so much for watching, thank you for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time, here on Board Game Casual.